What's up, awesome listeners? Time to ignite your potential. Welcome to the Daily Minds podcast. We're thrilled to have you on this incredible journey of growth, learning, and empowerment. At Daily Minds, we believe in the power of knowledge and its impact on our lives. Whether you're here for business insights, better mental health, or pure inspiration, you've hit the jackpot. Our mission? To provide valuable content that not only informs but also inspires action. Each episode is crafted with care, offering expert advice, personal stories, and practical tips you can use every day. Remember, every step towards self-improvement is a step towards a brighter future. We're here to support, guide, and cheer you on through your personal and professional journey. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's grow together, learn together, and make a difference together. Stay inspired and keep listening.
Yes, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Dead Minds podcast. Today we are going to have a conversation with another amazing guest who is called Olivier, but I don't know how to spell the other name. So, how are you doing, Olivier? Can you teach me how to spell the other name?
Yes, it's Mankondo, Olivier Mankondo.
Why does it feel so African?
Because I'm African. I'm originally from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Our neighbor here, because they come from Rwanda.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, can we begin by you sharing your personal story of transformation and how you got into plant-based nutrition?
Yes. So what happened is that when I grew up, at the time when I was born and when I was growing up, there was no computer games, there were no video games, and we were forced to play outside. Climbing around, climbing trees, running around and stuff like that. And I even remember that during the summer holiday, for example, we will go hiking for long hours. We will pack some food, some drinks, and we'll go walking for some hours. And maybe if we found a river, we'll start swimming. So we were always in movement. And I was not exposed to a lot of animal products, dairy product and processed food. And that's why when I was growing up, I was very lean. My problem only started when I left my country. I went first to South Africa, and then I came to the UK. And then I started to have problems because I was exposed to a lot of animal product, a lot of dairy product, a lot of processed food. And for example, every time when I was having something to eat, I would have some kind of animal product. For example, in the morning, I will have maybe some ham, maybe some bacon, maybe some hot dogs or sausages, something like that. So, and that's why when at my heaviest, my weight was 100 kilos or 220 pounds. And because of that, I started to suffer from a lot of chronic diseases. So I was suffering, first of all, from high blood pressure. And people should know that high blood pressure is a very dangerous disease. It's a silent killer. And 50% of people who suffer from strokes, cardiovascular diseases, problem with the kidneys, it's because of high blood pressure. And I even remember there was a day when I was waking up at 3 a.m. by a sharp pain in my chest. And I'm not the kind of guy who really complains, but I had to wake my wife up and tell her that I was not well. So she called the ambulance. They took me to the hospital. And over there, they saw that my blood pressure went through the roof. And I was kept over there for a day and a half because of all that. And I was also suffering from massive headaches every day or every other day. And in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time because of that. I had dandruff, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, and a lot of dental problems because of my bad eating habit. So until midnight, I will be eating. I will have my bottle of Coca-Cola with some biscuits, some cakes, and stuff like that. And that's why every 2 to 3 months, I had to see the dentist. And I was always tired. So, for example, on the day that I had to go to work, I will have to drag myself out of bed. And on the day where I was not going to work, I was sleeping until 1 p.m. So it was really bad. And I had some heartburn as well. And especially when I was eating beans. So I didn't know what to do. But as usual, like everybody else, I went to see the doctor. And the doctor told me that I will be on medication for the rest of my life. And I said no, even though I didn't know what I know now, but instinctively I said no, I don't want to go on medication. I found it very bizarre to take medication for the rest of my life. And he asked me, okay, what are you going to do? And I said, okay, I'm going to join a martial art club to try and see if my blood pressure can come down. So I joined a karate club. So I was there for 4 years, and my blood pressure didn't budge, it didn't change, it was still high. And I didn't know what else to do. I was just buying the medication over the counter. When I was feeling bad, I would buy medication. I was just doing things like that. And one day, out of the blue, I was watching a program on, and there was an Indian yogi who suggested that by adopting a plant-based nutrition or stopping eating animal products, it was possible to reverse 70% of the chronic diseases. And because my health was pretty bad, I said, okay, I'm going to try that. So it was a Wednesday that I watched that program. On Thursday, I came back from work. I had my last meal of meat. And on Friday, I went cold turkey. And after me changing my way of my lifestyle, I went back to the doctor 4 months after, and my blood pressure was completely gone. And after 9 months, I was able to lose 35 kilos or 77 pounds. And all my chronic diseases were completely gone. I was not suffering from chest pain, back pain, abscesses. Every single ailment was completely gone. And in fact, for the past 8 years, I've not been sick a single day, not even a headache. And for the past 9 years, I've not taken a single pill, not even a paracetamol or aspirin. And on top of that, I've been able to really slow down my aging process, because a lot of people, when they see me, they think that I'm in my late 20s, but I'm actually 54. So that's basically that's how I got into this plant-based nutrition.
But you look very young. It's
Yeah,
like
but I'm
you are
54.
at least 30. It's like you're in your 30s.
Yeah,
So
I'm 54.
That's very amazing. My add on plant-based foods. I remember back in my high school, I did a research on soybeans and its products, and we discovered that actually products that came from soybeans, they can reverse the issues that are caused by animal products. For example, if you eat tofu, it can reverse the issues caused by cheese and other animal products. So, and there are different plant products that can seem to look like these animal products that we have, such as cheese. You can eat tofu, cow milk, you can drink soy milk or almond milk or whatever. So maybe people should do more research into that. But since we have you today, you have to tell us more about what we should be doing. What inspired you to become a weight loss and awareness coach?
Yeah, so what inspired me is that because of the profound transformation that I went through, I was inclined to really share that with my brothers and sisters, because the way we've been told is that when you are young and when you grow older, you need to be sick. That's all. That's what we've been told. And like for me, for example, when I started this process, I was 46. Today I'm 54, and my health is getting better and better. And for instance, for example, the stuff that I was able to do when I was 20, I can still do them right now. And that's why it got me inspired. I said that I'm going to share this knowledge, my experience to people, so that people can know that it's possible to live a disease-free life and we don't have to be sick. And that's why it got me into this wellness field to try and help my brothers and sisters.
But also, I have one special question out of my curiosity. You look like one of those reggae guys. Are you also a musician?
No, I'm not.
Because of the dreads, you know, it's usually common for musicians, for those reggae guys. And I love the reggae music.
Yeah, so basically when it's only, I stopped cutting my hair in 2017, because just by starting to change my way of eating, I starting to do a lot of research. And what I've been able to find out is that the hair is an extension of our nervous system. And basically with our hair, it's act like antennas. We can receive and send information. And that's why I decided not to cut my hair anymore. And when you have long hair, you become more intuitive and stuff like that. For example, if you look at women, they are more intuitive than men because they've got long hair. And even when you look in all the ascended masters, you will see that all of them had long hair. For example, you look at Jesus, he had long hair. You look at Buddha, he had long hair. You look at all the yogis in India, they've got long hair. You look at, for example, Samson in the Bible. you can see that he was very strong. He had extra powers. But only when his hair was cut, he lost all his powers. And even if you look, for example, at all these people, for example, Leonardo da Vinci, he was a great inventor. You look at Isaac Newton, you look at all these people, all of them, if you look, you will see that all of them have long hair. And that's why I decided not to cut my hair anymore, but I'm not a musician.
That's amazing. I was going to tell you to take a guitar and give us an a cappella. So about that on long hair and how it affects the human being. Now a question has come to me. Why did these white colonizers urge Africans to cut their hairs while at school? So it may simply mean that they wanted us to be dumb while we feel like we are being educated. Because growing up at school, they would punish me for having my hair. I love my hair so much. They would punish me for having my hair. But the question I always had was, how does the hair affect performance? So how is my hair going to? And in my own overview from my past, the time when I didn't had my hair, I had a poor performance for me because I was not comfortable. So now let's go to another question. What are the core principles of your 3-step weight loss and wellness program?
Yes, so the core principle, 3 steps, the first one is the mindset. Because the mindset is very, very important. And in all the stuff that you have to do, in all the endeavors that you have to take in your life, if you don't have the right mindset, basically you are bound to fail. And that's why you will see, for example, a lot of people, when they arrive toward the end of the year, they take their New Year's resolution. Some will say that, okay, I'm going to lose weight. Some people will say that they're going to stop smoking and stuff like that. You will see that in January, they will start maybe after a week, 2 weeks, maximum 4 weeks, they will stop and they will revert back to their old habits. It's because of the mindset. So the mindset is very important. And these people usually what they do, they use their willpower. But the willpower can take you so far. What you have to use is the why power. You need to find a good reason which will keep you on track. For example, for me, I used to remember the way I was feeling when I was sick. Maybe when I had the flu, I will be in bed for a week. I will have massive headaches. My nose will be blocked, and I didn't want to go back to that feeling anymore. And that's why it kept me on track. And people need to know as well as for the mindset, it's not when you decide to adopt this plant-based nutrition, it's not a diet that you can do for a week, 2 weeks, and then you revert back. No, this is a lifestyle. And as well, you need to surround yourself with a supportive community so that you can stick on this plant-based nutrition. So the first step is the mindset. The second step is obviously using plant-based nutrition. And why plant-based nutrition is very important? It's because, first of all, in the plant-based nutrition where you get fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seeds, all this food have got lots of fiber. And the fiber will clean your intestine. And the intestine, and people need to know that 70% of the diseases start in the intestine. So when you eat all this food, they will clean your intestine and you will be able to basically avoid being sick. And all these fiber as well will make you full very quickly, and you will tend to eat less frequently, and you will be able to lose weight effortlessly. So that's the second step. And the third step is to adopt intermittent fasting. Because in the society or in the way we are living, we have been told that we need to eat constantly. There are people who can have 5, 6, 7 meals a day because we have been told that the more you eat, the stronger you're going to get. But this is completely false. Because what people need to understand is that when you eat, when you go through the digestion, your body will actually spend 80% of its energy trying to digest the food. So it's a very heavy process. And that's why, for example, if you have a heavy meal, maybe after 15, 20 minutes, you will start dozing off because most of the blood will leave your head and will go through the area to start the digestion process. So what people need to also to understand is that when you are digesting the food, the body will produce insulin. And every time when the body produces insulin, it's going to create some your cellular aging. So basically, you're going to age very quickly. and you're going to die very quickly as well. And when the body is producing insulin, it cannot produce at the same time an hormone, which is called the human growth hormone. And the human growth hormone is responsible for the growth of the tissue in your body. So it's very, very important. And then you need to understand that every time when you're digesting food, the body will not be able to produce the human growth hormone. And on top of that, the healing and cleansing process of the body can only be done when you're not digesting food. It's exactly the same. For example, if you have your house and you don't clean the house, the garbage start to pile up. It's not going to be good for your own health. And that's exactly the same with the body. If the healing and cleansing process cannot be done, you'll be sick. And like I've just said, it can only be done when you're not digesting food. And on top of that as well, when the body is not digesting food, it will go through a process which is called autophagy, where the body eats its own waste. So you can see that this is very important. So to summarize, the three-step process is a good mindset, a winning mindset. You adopt a plant-based nutrition, and you incorporate intermittent fasting. So that's the core three principles.
It looks like even though we need digestion, we should be careful with what we digest. So maybe that's why they say that the brain does not work properly with a big stomach.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, and the research shows that as people stop sourcing food from afar, when we stopped hunting and wherever and doing sports while hunting, when we started putting the food near our homes, near ourselves, it is actually shown that we have also the power of our mind has stopped working properly as it did before. So a big stomach is not a good friend of your brain. So people must be careful with what they digest. Yeah. And I have heard from the wisdom of the Indian philosophies. Here we are referring to Buddhism and whatever. That actually fruits and vegetables are very nice to clean your body, and that at least someone should have like 5 days or 10 days every year where you take a moment to eat fruits and vegetables only without mixing it up other kinds of heavy foods, so that at least every year you cleanse your body and become a new person. So how does plant-based nutrition differ from other diets, and what are its benefits?
Yeah. So you've got a lot of diets. For example, first of all, you've got the carnivore diet or the omnivore diet that we eat, where people eat fruit, meat, they eat processed food, they eat dairy product and all that. And you've got the vegetarian diet, where people abstain from eating animal product, and they only eat, they continue to eat dairy product, processed food and vegetables and fruit and all that. And then you've got the vegan diet, where you don't eat any animal product, you don't eat any dairy product. And what I've noticed is that a lot of vegans tend to eat a lot of vegan processed food, which is not good, because processed food are food that has been transformed and resembles to nothing in nature. They are essentially the man-made food. And when you look at all these processed food, they are full of additive, coloring, flavoring, preservative, which are chemical substances not recognized by the body, and they create havoc. The plant-based nutrition that I use myself is composed of whole food. So the food that you see in nature, like fruit, vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and seeds. So that's what I eat. And the benefit of eating all this is that, first of all, like I said, you eat all this food, they've got lots of fiber. They will be able to clean your intestine, which will make you will make your health very good. And as well, on top of that, food will prevent you from having constipation, because constipation is something that is very, very bad on the system. Because when you are constipated, all the fecal matter, all the toxins will be reabsorbed into the bloodstream. And that's why a lot of people start suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer, Parkinson, arthritis, and all the autoimmune diseases where the body have, like the inflammatory bowel disease, the lupus, the psoriasis, the rheumatoid arthritis, and the list goes on. So when you eat plant-based nutrition, so you will be exempt from suffering from constipation. And when you look at all this food as well, they've got lots of vitamins, nutrient, phytonutrient, antioxidant, and all this will reduce the inflammation in your body. They will prevent you from having a lot of cholesterol. We will create some cardiovascular diseases. So that's how the plant-based nutrition will be able to live a disease-free life.
Okay, that's amazing. So can you share with us a little about some success stories from your clients who have adopted a plant-based lifestyle?
Yes, so there's a woman who has worked with me. So what's happened is that before she started with me, she was married, she had 3 kids, and she was overweight. She was suffering from high blood pressure and diabetes, and she was already on 5 different medications. And because she was overweight, she couldn't play with her kids. She was always tired, and it was starting to make her really depressed. So she was basically in a depression because she couldn't do all the things that she wanted to do. And at work, she's starting to call in sick a lot of times, and her boss was really unhappy, and he was about to fire her. And that's when she stumbled on my program. We started to work together, and after a few months, she was able to reverse her diabetes and her high blood pressure, and she was off of all her medication. She was able to lose 36 kilos, and she's starting again to start playing with her kids. So she was really, really good, and obviously she was able to go back to her work because she was not calling sick anymore and stuff like that. So that was something that happened to that woman, and she was really, really happy. And she, up to this day, she really thanks me for that.
That's amazing. So now, what advice would you give to someone, for example, like me? I love to drink milk every day, and I love to eat my meat at least every Saturday. And I am not having a heavy weight. I am like 51 kilos. So is that fine? And okay, another question I have is they say that there are some genes and some blood types that are prone to heavy weight, to increase the heavy weight. So what do you say about that?
Yeah, so first, for the first part of your question, like you
Yes.
said that you like to drink milk. But what you need to understand is that, first of all, human beings are the only species in the entire creation to drink milk from another species. You will never see, for example, a cat drinking dog's milk or a goat drinking cow's milk, because every milk is specific to its own species. So that's what people need to understand. And as well, human beings are the only species in the entire creation to drink milk when they're adults. You will never see any grown animal drinking milk, because there's an enzyme which is called lactase, which enables people to digest milk. And when we reach the age between 2 and 4 years old, that enzyme ceases to be produced, which is suggestive that we need to stop drinking milk. And in the world, 70% of the world population is lactose intolerant. And when I say lactose intolerant, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will start suffering from severe allergic reaction. No, it can manifest itself in a subtle way, such as chronic fatigue, chronic inflammation, digestive problems. And now I'm going to give you a list of diseases created by dairy products or milk. You've got anemia, ear infection, eczema, asthma, osteoporosis, cancer, obesity, appendicitis, and the list goes on. And when we drink cow's milk, boys and girls will go through puberty at a very early age. And when they go through puberty at a very early age, their body will start producing estrogen in excess. And an increase of estrogen is linked to cancer. And that's why later on in life, this girl will start suffering from breast cancer, uterus cancer, and ovarian cancer. And for boys, it's going to be prostate cancer. So milk is really, really not good for the human mechanism. If you like you said, you like milk, the best thing to do is to change and to start drinking, for example, soya milk or rice milk or almond milk and stuff like that. That's really the best thing that you can do if you want to save yourself a lot of trouble in the future. Maybe now your health is still good or you're not overweight, but inside there's something bad can happen. It's like, for example, my uncle. He was very slim, but he died last year, 2 years ago, of diabetes. But he was very slim. He was not overweight. And like you say as well, for animal products, you only eat that once a week. If it's once a week, that's okay. But for people who eat that a lot of time, it's very bad because, for example, if you look at the animal product, it takes too long to pass through the system. Because, for example, if you eat a piece of fish, it will take 3 to 4 hours to pass through a system. You eat raw vegetables, it will take around 12 hours to pass through a system. You eat cooked vegetables, it will take between 24 and 30 hours to pass through a system. But if you eat meat, fish, or chicken, it takes 72 hours or 3 days to pass through a system. So meat passes through the system very slowly. That's why you will see that carnivores have got shorter intestines. Fruit and vegetables pass through the system very quickly. That's why human beings and herbivores have got longer intestines. And if, for example, you take a piece of meat, you leave that outside for 3 days during the summer. When you come back after 3 days, that piece of meat will be in a rotting state. You will see maggot, you will see flies, and it's going to stink. And when we eat the meat, because it takes 3 days in our system, and because our internal temperature is 36 degrees centigrade, which is hot, the same rotting process that I've just explained to you, it's what is going to happen inside our guts. And that's why you will see. So there's going to be a rotting process inside our guts when we eat meat. And that's why you will see a lot of people smell bad or they've got bad breath. So when they can brush their teeth as much as they want, but that odor is not going away. So meat is not really designed for the human mechanism. There's another lots of reasons, but I'm going to be short with this. And about the genes, what people need to understand is that 95% of the disease that people have, it's not genetic. The genes account only for 5%. So even if you have a bad gene, but if you eat the right food, those genes will stay dormant. They're not going to bother you. So that's why for some people, they will say, oh, no, you are overweight because there's a gene who run in your family. No, if you eat the right food, that gene will stay dormant. And that's why there's something which is called epigenetic, which is above the genes. So our lives are not run by the genes, but it's by the way we think, the way we interpret all the stuff that happen in our lives. But my point is, the genes only play for 5%. 95% is the way we eat, the way we think, and the stuff that we put on our skin or on our hair.
That's very nice. Now, would it be a good advice that if you eat meat, you also try to eat a salad, for example, a fresh salad, which you made at home without sourcing out from any restaurant, for example. And when you you drink milk, for example, you make sure that you drink this UHT milk, which have been skimmed out of fat, and also you try to take a few fruits every day. What do you think about that?
Yes. So the point is, if you eat meat every day, or you drink milk every day, even if with what you say UHT, or you have a salad every day, or you eat fruit, you eat some fruit, you're still going to be sick, because the problem is you need to take out what is bad. It's like, for example, you're saying, okay, I'm going to eat this fruit, but I'm going to continue to poison myself. That's exactly what people are doing. So what is important if you want to create a high level of health? What is important? It's what you leave out. It's the food that's causing you the problems. It's not adding food. It's not eating more fruit. It's not eating more salad. The problem is to take off the food that is actually causing you the problem. That's what people need to do. So the best thing to do is you eat fruit, you eat all salad, but you try to reduce the animal product and the dairy product. That's what people need to do if they want to create a high level of health. Obviously, for me, for example, I've completely stopped for all these things. But for people who are unable to completely stop with animal product and dairy product, what they can do, they can, for example, in a week, they can, for example, eat meat twice a week. And for 5 days, they don't eat that. And for those 2 days, they eat a very small amount, and they use that as a condiment. So the real problem is to take to what you leave out. That will make the difference, not what you add.
Okay, good. So here is a case. I was once on a bus and I saw a woman feeding her child with sausage and ice cream. The child was eating on the sausage and then take the ice cream. How is that bad?
That's very, very bad because when you look, for example, at the sausage classes as group number 1 carcinogen because the sausages are processed meat. And a processed meat like sausages, bacon, or dog sausages, they are classed as group number 1 carcinogen by the World Health Organization, just like as the same as smoking. And when you eat processed meat, it's going to give you cardiovascular diseases, so heart disease, colorectal cancer, breast cancer, and prostate cancer. And it's going to increase your risk of death. So what that kid is doing, eating sausages, it's not good because it's carcinogen. And on top of that is adding ice cream. And like I've just said, ice cream, it's made from milk. That's not good because with all the, when you look at the milk, it's got a lot of calcium and a lot of growth hormones. Because you see, for example, when the baby calf is born, it weighs 30 kilos. And after 3 months, you need to triple that weight. So there are lots and lots of growth hormones and lots of calcium. And when basically you drink cow's milk, you will become fat or overweight, just like all this calf. And as well, when you look at, because there's got too much calcium, when we go to urinate, our body will see that we've got too much calcium. And when we go to urinate, we're going to lose that excess calcium to the expense of our own calcium. And that's why you will see that a lot of people who drink too much calcium, later on in life, they start suffering from osteoporosis, which is a condition which makes your bone brittle. And you start suffering from the inflammation of the joint. So what that kid was doing is really, really bad for him.
Yes, and on top of that, I also studied the food processing. Both ice cream and the sausage, there is a lot of chemicals that are added in those foods that are actually very dangerous for the human body. So what are some common misconceptions about plant-based diets and how do you address them?
Yeah, so one of them is people always ask me,
if you're an e-commerce seller, then you need OutFy to boost your social media game. OutFy is your ultimate social media management tool. It connects seamlessly with top marketplaces like Etsy and Shopify. Imagine automated content creation that churns out eye-catching videos, GIFs and promo posts. With OutFy, share across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest and YouTube and reach a wider audience effortlessly. Schedule your posts in advance and let OutFy handle the rest. Track performance with OutFy's analytics tools. Gain insights and refine your strategy. Save time, save money and grow your business. Many businesses have seen incredible growth with OutFy. Ready to join them? Sign up for OutFy and transform your online presence today. OutFy, efficient, effective, essential. Try it now and watch your business thrive. To support the Daddy Minds podcast, check out OutFy with the link in this episode description.
Okay, Olivier, you're not eating meat. Where are you going to get your protein from? And when people ask me that question, the answer that I always give them is that, for example, you look at the gorilla, with whom we share 99% of the same DNA, which means that our digestive tract are practically the same. But what do gorillas eat? They eat fruit, vegetables, and tender root. Gorillas do not eat meat. But you look at gorillas, they are very powerful, they are very muscular, they are very strong. You look at the giraffe, you look at the rhino, you look at the elephant, all of them are very strong and they don't eat meat. So if you don't eat meat, you will still have your protein. And that's why, for example, for me, I only eat fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seeds. And up to this day, I'm not protein deficient because you can get all your protein from this food. And for example, if you take 100 grams of meat, in 100 grams of meat, you've got 26 grams of protein. And you take, for example, beans, in 100 grams of beans, you've got 20 grams of protein. So we still, when you eat beans, lentils, and all that, you're still going to have a lot of protein. But in fact, as human beings, we don't really need a lot of protein. Because when you look, for example, at the mother's milk, when she's breastfeeding, in the mother's milk, there's only 2% of protein. So we don't actually need a lot of protein. So that's the first myth that people say. The second one is that they say, okay, you're not drinking cow's milk. Where are you going to get your calcium from? But when you look at all the leafy greens, like the kale, like the spinach, like the broccoli, all of them have got tons of calcium. So you're not going to suffer from osteoporosis or things like that. And another misconception is that if you eat plant-based nutrition, you're going to be very weak. You're going to be lethargic. But this is completely false, because in fact, when I was eating all the animal products, that's when I was always tired. Because like I've told you, that when you eat animal product, it starts rotting inside your gut. And that will create a high bacterial activity. And your body will have to produce loads and loads of energy to try and reduce that number of bacteria to a very low level. And that's why a lot of people, they can go to sleep at night. They wake up in the morning and they are still tired. And the first thing that they will do is to grab a cup of coffee or some kind of energy drink. So that's completely false. But when you eat a plant-based nutrition, the body will spend less energy to digest those food, because they've got already enzyme. They are very easy to digest. They don't spend too much time in the stomach. And that excess energy that the body will not have to use to digest, you're going to keep that for yourself, and you'll be you're not going to be tired. It's like me, like I've just said, there's not a thing that I was able to do when I was 20 that I cannot do now that I'm 54. So that's the myth that people say, which are not true.
Okay, good. So what do you say about nutritional tips such as the vitamins, the proteins, and a special nutritional tip called spirulina? Do you know it?
Spirulina, yes.
Yes, okay. I myself, I love spirulina so much.
Yeah, that's
I
very
often,
good. That's very good.
It's a good one. It's okay for it.
Yeah.
Because I often add it to my tea or coffee in the morning, once a day at least. So how about the vitamins, for example? I have tablets that I sometimes take when I don't feel okay. It happens sometimes. You wake up and you feel like you're not doing well. Then I take those vitamins, and then when I take them, I get fine. They have 18 vitamins. So what do you say about those such nutritional tips?
Yeah, so personally for me, I don't take those vitamins made by human beings that they sell in pharmacies and stuff like that. I don't touch this thing, because for me, I understand that the body can only recognize the stuff that are organic. So when you eat fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seeds, and you have all these vitamins. That's the only vitamins that the body can recognize. The stuff that are made by human beings, I don't think that they work. But what will work is the placebo effect. It's like, for example, in your case, as soon as you take the medication, because you think that it's going to make you feel better, and it does, it will make you feel better. It's like, for example, I had my granddad when he was still alive, because my mom was a nurse. So my granddad will start complaining that he feels pain and stuff like that, because I don't know, he did really like to take medication. And what my mom will do, will just give him some vitamins. We have no effect whatsoever. My mom will give it to him, and just because he had, let's say, he was complaining that he was in pain, my mom will just give him a vitamin. He will take that, and the pain will completely disappear. It was not because of the vitamin, but because of the thought that entertained in his mind. He said that to himself, that now that I've had this medication, now I'm going to feel good. And that's exactly what's happening. But for me, when I look at the vitamins that they sell in pharmacies and stuff like that, for me, I think that they are just some kind of poison, because all the stuff that if you take those vitamins, you take them in excess, you will see that it will create damage to your health, because at the base, they are not good for the human beings. Because let's say, for example, if you take, 10 apples, you're not going to be sick. It's not going to make you, at the most, if you eat too much, you're going to vomit. That's all. But if you take, let's say, 20 vitamins or 30, maybe it's going to create some problems in your health, which means that they are not good. And for me, I don't touch all these synthetic vitamins and stuff.
Yes, for those vitamins, you're only allowed to take one tablet every day in 24 hours. You cannot take more than one. And when you take like three, you know very well that something is going to happen which might not be good. But okay, about the vegetable diet, it's like going on a regime, and sometimes with due to financial status, some people may not make it to have all the vegetables and all the fruits. And for someone like me, I work a long time. Sometimes I only sleep 4 hours a day, and I know very well that there is something not going well in my body. That's why I use something like spirulina to make sure that at least my body can be relieved. And what I know is that I cannot eat enough food, whatever the regime I choose, to make my body be in a good mood, considering to the longer times that I often work. Sometimes I work the nights and other days, whatever. So that's why sometimes people choose to eat, to take those vitamins and the sprucines. But there is a question I have. I have a question about the protein, those powder protein. I have seen that they come from production is like they come from small animals. I don't know which they raise up in the laboratory. So what do you think for them about that? I think, to me, I think they are very dangerous. How do I eat those small crawling animals and call that protein? Now to your coaching programs. What sets your coaching services apart from others in the industry?
Yes, for me, the difference is that when you look at most coaching programs, they insist on the weight loss. For them, it's just losing weight. But for my experience is that being slim, it's not necessarily, doesn't necessarily means that you are in good health. For example, you look at a lot of soldiers, the military, you will see that in the teens, they are very slim, they look very fit. But when you look at the arteries, you will already see that they've got plaques, which means that there's something wrong going on. So being slim is not really being fit or being in good health, because in our society now, all people want just to slim down, and they think that, oh, if I'm slim, it means that I'm in good health. This is completely different, false. Being slim doesn't necessarily mean that you're in good health, and that's one. What's set me apart from all the people is that in my program, what I want people is to live a disease-free life. That's what I'm looking for. I try to show people an holistic life. It's not only that you lose weight, but I teach people the way they have to sleep, to drink water, to go outside, to be in contact with the sun when they can be in contact with the sun to have enough vitamin D. All these things that which we're going to make you make a good health. So when you are in good health, then necessarily you're not going to be overweight. Because when, for example, you look at the animals in the forest, they eat their specific diet, and none of them is overweight. You will never see an animal in the forest who are overweight. But you look at our pets, our dogs, our cats, because we don't feed them the right food, a lot of them are overweight as well, and they are just as sick as us. So for me, when you eat the right food, you do whatever you have to do. You have to exercise, and when I say exercise as well, it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to join a gym. You can just do things like walking, light jogging, biking, and stuff like that. And when you do all these things, then you'll be in good health. So it's not only a weight loss program, but it's a wellness where when you feel good, when you are in good health, you have optimal health, then you will lose all the weight.
Okay, so good. How do you tailor your programs to individual clients' needs and goals?
Yeah, so what I usually do is that before they start working with me, we go on a discovery call. On the discovery call, we analyze their routine, their current lifestyle, what they eat, what they've got. And from there, from all the stuff that they're going to tell me, I will now devise a good plan of action tailored to their needs. For example, let's say that that person has got, let's say, suffer from diabetes, for example. So when I will do the coaching, I'm not going to make them eat a lot of, I will ask them, for example, to start reducing the animal product dramatically, because that's the cause of the diabetes, and it's not the sugar like we've been told, and especially the fruit sugar. But what causes diabetes, it's the animal product. So, for example, for that person, I'm going to really push them to really decrease sensibly the amount of animal product that they eat in a very short period of time. But if, for example, they are not suffering from diabetes, for example, then I'm going to go every 2 weeks. They will start decreasing the amount of animal product that they eat. So basically, it will depend on what I'm going to gather, the information that I'm going to gather during the onboarding call. And then from there, I will be able to tailor exactly how I'm going to work with them.
Okay, good. What inspired you to write the plant-based nutrition, and how it is going to change your life?
Sorry, can you repeat, please?
Yes, about your book, the
Yeah.
plant-based nutrition, and how it
Yeah.
is going to change your life.
Okay.
So, what can we take away from the book?
Okay, so the key takeaways from the book is that they are divided in 4 parts. The first part is I'm trying to show people that we human beings, we are not omnivores the way we've been told. We are frugivores. And I try to show that to people, just like I gave the example of the gorilla. We share 99% of the same DNA. And the gorilla, they don't eat meat. And you look at all the monkeys, they don't eat meat. And for example, even if you are lost in the forest and you want to know what to eat, you just have to look at what monkeys eat, and then you will be sure not to die. And so I try to show to people that we are frugivores. In the second part of the book, I try to show to people all the damaging effects of the animal products, the dairy product, and the processed food on our health. And in the third part, I try to show people the way that I've been able to lose weight and to reverse my chronic diseases, so that they as well, if they follow the same path, they will be able to do that. And in the last part, I give a lot of tips and tricks that people can use, for example, to avoid to use the microwave, or, for example, to start filtering the tap water, because in the tap water, you've got chlorine and the fluoride, which are carcinogen. Ask them to start taking a regular trip outside where they can breathe fresh air, because in our homes it's very toxic because of the cleaning product, the hairspray, the deodorant, the perfume, the electromagnetic frequencies, the electrical devices, the Wi-Fi. All these are not conducive to good health. So I give them a lot of tips and tricks like that, so that they can really transform their health.
Okay, so how do you approach public speaking engagements, and what do you hope audiences to take away from your talk?
Yes, so the way that I do that is that when I go to a speaking engagement, the key takeaway that I would like the audience to be able to have is that, first of all, to know that the animal product, the dairy product, and the processed food are not designed for the human mechanism. So I make it clear for them that if they really want to create a high level of health for themselves, they need to start decreasing the intake of those products. And I try to show them as well that if they really want to do something with their lives, they need to have a good mindset, because the mindset is paramount. Anything that you would like to do, you need to have a winning mindset. And I try as well to show them that the benefit of adopting a plant-based nutrition, because like I've just said, the plant-based nutrition, fruit, vegetables, legumes, grain, nuts, and seeds, they've got lots of fiber, they've got antioxidant, they've got lots of minerals, they've got a lot of phytonutrient, they've got a lot of nutrient, and all this will be conducive to good health. And as well, the key takeaway that I would like them to take is that they need to really, really incorporate intermittent fasting in their lives, because with this, it's going to really give the time to their bodies to be able to really give them a high level of health. For example, for myself, only eat twice a day. My first meal is at 12 p.m. at noon, and my second meal is at 6 p.m. And in between, I don't eat anything. I don't have any snacking. So, for example, when I finish my last meal at 6 p.m., I will have my next one the next day. So it's like 18 hours without me not eating anything. And between meals, like I said, I don't eat. So take, for example, if I have to take into account the time that my body takes to digest the food, I would say maybe for 20 hours a day, my body is not digesting food. And that's why I've been able to create a high level of health. So this is the key takeaway that people can really take if they call me for a speaking engagement.
Okay, that's wonderful. Are there any upcoming projects like books that you're working on that you would like to share with our audience?
For the time being, I plan to write another 2 books, but it's not now, but I will do that in the future. But what I would like to do in the near future is to be able to build a retreat center where people will be able to come and spend 3 days or a week or something like that. Because what I've noticed is that when people need to change their eating habit or they need to embrace a new lifestyle, when they are at their homes, because usually they haven't got a supportive community, and it becomes very difficult for them to make the change. But they can say, okay, I can't cook or I don't know what to cook. But if they can come to my retreat center, then they will be able to immerse themselves with like-minded people. They will be able to ask questions. They will be able to really kickstart their health journey. And that's the project that I have to build a retreat center in the future.
That's nice. Maybe I will have to join. You just notify me when it's ready.
Yes.
If I get the ticket fare for the aeroplane.
Yeah, I'll be glad if you can come when I do that.
Yes, and it will be in the UK, right?
Yes, I'm in the UK. But what I'm thinking to do is that within the next 5 years, I would like to go back to Africa, because I really don't like the weather in the UK. It's too cold. It rains all the time. I like Africa. Africa, it's better. The weather is better, and especially for me, because I eat plant-based nutrition. I would like to have all the fruits, and in Africa, you have a good variety of fruits. And that's why I would like to go back. So I'm intending to go back to Namibia. So if I have to build, when I build my retreat center, it's going to be first in Namibia.
Namibia will be, I can just get there in a few hours.
Yeah.
It won't be too far. So how do you maintain your own motivation and discipline in your health journey?
Yeah, the way that I maintain that is by reminding myself of the way I used to suffer in the past when I was sick. So when I was sick, it was really unpleasant. For example, I remembered when I had the flu. For example, when your nose is blocked, you can't breathe properly at night. You can't sleep. You have banging headaches. You have to feel too cold. You've got a fever, and all these feelings. I don't want to go back into that anymore. And that's why every time when I remind myself of those feelings, I say to myself, Olivier, you need to keep on track. You don't have to go back to your old way of eating. And that's the way that I keep motivating. I keep discipline just by reminding myself of the bad feeling that I was feeling when I was sick. And that's why, like I've just said, for the past 8 years, I've not been sick a single day. And I don't want to go back to that.
Okay, good. What role does mindset play in achieving weight loss and wellness goals?
Yeah, like I just said, the mindset is very, very important. It's more even important than the food itself, because if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going to be able to stick with that lifestyle. So the mindset is the most important thing. You need to have a winning mindset. And usually what people say, for example, you tell them, okay, you need to adopt a plant-based nutrition. The first thing that people will tell you, it's going to be difficult. I can't stop eating meat. And as soon as you say that, your mind will make sure that you're not able to achieve that. Because what people need to understand is that the mind is very, very powerful. And as soon as you already come with saying that, oh, you're not going to be able to do it, it's going to be difficult, then yes, basically you've already failed. So you need to always have a winning mindset. You need to think that you're going to win and it's going to be possible for you to do it. It's like me when I decided to change my way of eating. I didn't ask myself if am I going to be able to do it, or what food am I going to eat. I didn't know that. I just say, I'm going to do that and it's going to work. regardless of whatever. And that's what people need to have. That they need to have a very winning mindset. And that's, like I've just said, it's the number one stuff if you would like to win in this weight loss journey.
Okay, nice. So how do you handle setbacks or crutches in your client's progress?
Yes. So, for example, what I ask them to do is, first of all, to not be to be lenient to themselves, to not judge themselves too much, because we are not perfect. So I always tell them that you're not going to be able to succeed maybe the first time around. Your way of doing will be like a seesaw. Sometimes you're going to go up, sometimes you're going to go down. But the key is to be consistent and to forgive yourself. If, for example, you fall, then the best thing to do is to stand up again. That's what you need to do. And the way that I try to do with them is that when, for example, we have our coaching session, if, for example, they told me that, or, for example, I told them that, let's say they had to eat meat, for example, for 5 days and or abstain for 2 days. And they come and they tell me that, oh, I was not able to do that. I'm not going to be there to shout at them, but I'll be compassionate. I will understand that maybe they've not been able to do that for a certain reason. Maybe they didn't have enough, they didn't have a supportive community around them and stuff like that. So I will continue to keep them motivated and to continue to tell them that, for example, Rome was not built in a day, and that they need to be persistent and consistent. And one day they will be able to achieve their goals. So that's how I deal with setbacks for my clients.
Good. Now to the conclusion and the final thoughts. So what's the most important takeaway you would like our listeners to remember from our conversation today?
Yeah, so the most important thing that I would like people to remember is that the way the physical body has been designed is to give optimal health. So your body will do every single, the way the body works, it's to give you optimal health every day. But now it depends on your choices. The choices that you're going to make every single day will determine the way your body will function. If you put your body in a very good environment, obviously your body, your health, you will strive. And what I would like people to understand is that being sick is a choice. It's not like we've been told that, oh, it's genetic, because that's what people say. And when you say it's genetic, basically it's like you are already a victim. But you need to reclaim your power. People need now to understand that the health is their own responsibility. It's not the responsibility of the family members and certainly not of the doctors. It's their own responsibility. And they need to take that in their own hands, just like me. When I went to the doctor, he told me that I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. I took my health in my own hands and I've been able to change things around. And like I said, for the past 8 years, I've not been sick a single day. And I would like people to understand that it's possible to live a disease-free life. They don't have to be sick. And that's really, really what I want my brothers and sisters to understand, that they don't have to be sick. If they make the right choices, most of the time, they will be able to live a disease-free life, just like me.
Okay, good. We hope maybe in the next days that we hear from people who benefited from this conversation and who have changed their lives. So are there any resources or tools you would like to recommend for those just starting their plant-based journey?
Yes, so for people who are starting their plant-based journey, first of all, the problem that people have is that they always say they don't know what to eat. But what the only way that they will know what to eat is to ask themselves if that thing comes off the ground. If you know that it's been planted and it comes off the ground, then that's what you need to eat. But to educate themselves more, maybe they can start watching, maybe on YouTube, they can see this document. There's a lot of vegan documentaries or plant-based documentaries, like Cowspiracy. They can watch that. They can watch What's the Health. They can watch as well Forks Over Knives, which are very good documentaries where they will learn a lot about this stuff. And obviously, they can buy my book, The Plant-Based Nutrition, How It's Going to Change Their Lives. They will be able to learn as well. And there's a book as well who really helped me a lot when I was a beginner, when I was starting this plant-based nutrition. It is written by Dr. Fred Bishi, and it's called Your Healthy Journey. This is something that was very important in my beginning, and people can use that book as well if they would like to kickstart the plant-based journey.
Okay, so also as my own add-on, I would recommend people to follow. There is an article, maybe a report, which is published around every year by a group of people called the Miracle Doctors in America, where they talk about different things going on in our life, the nutritional tips we choose to take, how we treat our hearts, how we treat our mind, whatever. And I loved one of the chapters. Okay, I don't remember the title or the year of that report, which said that it was a chapter talking about the thoughts that kill, where they talked about how we kill ourselves by what we think or by what we choose to assimilate into our minds. So that would be also a very good tool for people who want to be serious with their health. They can just go on Google and search for Miracle Doctors. Then they will see the reports. They publish a report around every year. So where can our audience find more information about your work and your services?
Yeah, so if people, first of all, I would like to give your viewers and your listeners my 7 tips to lose weight. They are the same 7 tips that I've used myself to lose all this weight, and I would like to give them as a gift, free of charge. So I will give you the link so that they can download that for free of charge. And the second thing that I can say is that if they want to buy my book, they can go on Amazon. They can buy the book over there, or they can go on my website, which is oliviermankondo.com. That oliviermankondo.com, they will be able to buy the book. It will going to be cheaper, and they will be able to get 4 more bonuses. And for people who would like to work with me, they can book a discovery call. And on the discovery call, we'll be able to explore their goals, their priorities, and their health concern. We're going to discuss their diet history and have a look at their current lifestyle, including their routine and habits. We will also going to work together to identify any limitations and change them so that we can create a plan of action that overcomes this limitation and set them on a path toward achieving their short and long-term goals. And also during this call, we're going to establish if there's a good fit. And if that's the case, then there will be an opportunity for us to work together so that we can fix all the issues that has been troubling them for all these years. And we're going to solve them once and for all. So that's where people can find me. I will give you the links, and if they can go as well on my website, they will be able to sign up for that free weight loss and wellness discovery call.
Okay, share with me the links also on where you are available on social media, so that people can follow your content and what you have to share. Like on Instagram, maybe I see many coaches using Instagram.
Yeah.
So, that was wonderful. We had a very nice conversation of more than an hour, so it doesn't happen often. Like in 10 conversations, I only have 1 hour conversations like 3 times. Others are like 50 or 40 minutes. So this was a very wonderful conversation. And I thank you very much for joining the Deadlines podcast today to come and share your wisdom and send a message to my audience and to the world about how they should take care of their health. And I will share with them your links of how they can connect you and your gift that you have given to my audience. And then maybe we hope in the future that we will hear success stories that came from this conversation. That would be very amazing. And that's why I do this podcast. I want to change the lives of people. So I urge people to hear whatever we have talked about and take action for their own lives. So Olivier Mankondo, thank you very much for joining the Dead Minds podcast today and for giving us your time.
Okay, thank you very much as well for giving me the opportunity to be on your show so that I can share my experience, my knowledge, so that I can really show my brothers and sisters that there's a way out. And I would like really to say thank you for that, to share my story. Thank you again for giving this opportunity.
So thank you very much. And I would say, let me not say bye for now, because maybe we're going to meet somewhere else in the future.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for being here at the Dead Minds podcast.
Okay, thank you very much.
If you're an e-commerce seller, then you need OutFy to boost your social media game. OutFy is your ultimate social media management tool. It connects seamlessly with top marketplaces like Etsy and Shopify. Imagine automated content creation that churns out eye-catching videos, GIFs and promo posts. With OutFy, share across Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest and YouTube and reach a wider audience effortlessly. Schedule your posts in advance and let OutFy handle the rest. Track performance with OutFy's analytics tools. Gain insights and refine your strategy. Save time, save money and grow your business. Many businesses have seen incredible growth with OutFy. Ready to join them? Sign up for OutFy and transform your online presence today. OutFy, efficient, effective, essential. Try it now and watch your business thrive. To support the Daddy Minds podcast, check out OutFy with the link in this episode description.